I'm the YouTuber known as Chillmonger. There hasn't been a lot to talk about when it came to the Black Panther, being T'Challa being recasted, having the greatest black superhero in the history of comics continue in the movies because that's really important. No matter how much other words and buzz terms they tried to throw at you to make you seem like this is a good progressive advancing movie, the greatest black superhero who exists should continue in the movies, especially when this film universe is going to continue for over a decade. If they only had like 3 movies left at Marvel and then they're going to reboot, yeah, fine. You don't got to recast, whatever. We'll get a new one later when you guys do the reboot. That's not happening. This thing is continuing for ages. Well, here's the video. Thanks to Sane MJ Fan for tagging me and letting me know about this. When I first watched it, it had like 700 views. Now it's at 2,000. Wow.
Always going to be the conversation of should T'Challa ever be recast? Is Chadwick Boseman the only person who can play Black Panther?
There we go.
I have my own opinions on it, but I'm writing a column.
Now, reminder, the question was, should he be recast? Is Chadwick the only one who can play the character? He's talking about a specific superhero, the one that superhero that we know, the superhero.
I'm interested in what y'all think about whether this character can ever be anyone but Chadwick Boseman.
And look who gets asked that question, none other than Nate Moore. Now, I don't know the context of any of this video. I know it came out August 6th, according to the tweet. I'm reacting to something. She's about to say something on the side as if everyone has been asking this question. Like she's going to be like, again. They all look towards him. A bunch of people are going to laugh. I don't know if they're laughing at him, with him, maybe off camera. The guy who asked the question is being, I don't know, demonstrative. I don't know. But let's appreciate the scenario that Nate Moore is in. Listen to his answer. You hear that? She's like, again. Like the question keeps getting brought up, I think.
I think everyone has their right to how they think it should unfold. I will say
again, he was not asking about how the movie should unfold. Nate Moore is pivoting away. Now, what Nate Moore could say is, just wait for the movie to come out. I'm sorry, I can't really comment on it because getting into it would reveal plot, and that's not the business that we're in. Apologize, but that's about as far as we can go. It's a no comment. No more questions on that topic. He could do that, and of course, it's not the pleasant answer. But what he does next it's worse.
A fan of the books, the Black Panther to me is a mantle. Right?
You see how he even asked for reassurance, and I think one person snapping her fingers. How do I know it's a her if it's finger snapping? I think there's one agreeing going like that, if there's agreement. But the Black Panther is a mantle, right? It's not the answer it's not the question he was asking. Rewind it a couple.
Right? And was a mantle the first movie because his dad was the Panther. It's something that's been handed down.
That is a true statement, yes.
I think that the story we want to tell is a specific story. It's not going to be the story everybody wants us to tell.
Stop right there. The story that you want to tell is going to be a specific story, not the one we want everyone to tell. It doesn't have to be this story. You are boxing yourself into this scenario where the T'Challa character's got to end. The story you wanted to tell in August of year 2020, like the days before Chadwick Boseman died. That story is the one I want to see played out on screen. You get a new actor, you say, plug you in, this character is really important, make Chadwick Boseman proud, make everyone proud, because T'Challa, the superhero that you're playing right now, is the greatest black superhero in the history of comic books. And he made it into being a household name. It really needs to continue to further advance characters who just aren't white, who are in top 10 tiers and rankings. It's like meaningful representation. If you're into that sort of thing, that's what T'Challa represents. Mantle.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? I think we only know how to tell the story that we know how to tell.
Nope. You knew how to tell the story with that script that you had in mind before August of 2020.
And I hope when the movie comes out, people respond to it and take it for what it is. I think some people are going to come out of the movie going, no, we still believe what we think, and that's okay.
That's me.
We had to make the movie that we understood how to make, and Ryan had to write the movie that he understood how to write.
You understood how to make a quality movie. I have full faith and belief that you could have done a quality movie if You just kept the superhero who's the greatest and most important and valuable alive and just continued. You wrote yourself into this dead end. We had to do what we had to do. This is the story that we wanted to make and Ryan wanted to make. Mm-mm. Original plans were the ones was the way to go. In no way have I ever accepted that I'll even go to the movie, which sounds like he's saying you're gonna have to come out, and if you come out of the movie with a different opinion, that's yeah. I'm not coming into the movie. I'm not paying money to see this and fund the idea that Black Panther is a mantle and it's interswappable. I'm a fan of the guy, son of T'Chaka, brother of Shuri. Like that dude is really important to me. I like him. Love him actually. Let's close out the video. What does he say towards the ending?
The rest is up to you guys.
The rest is up to us. Is he challenging me not to see this movie? Is that a challenge? Let's move over to this page here. It's called marvel.com/comics/series. And if you guys do this thing, it's every comic that's ever existed. If you do this thing where you put in Black Panther, you'll see all of these volumes from 1977. T'Challa, 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 and Shuri. You see from the 2009 and 2010 um, volume, where was it? It might be issue number 5 where Shuri actually becomes Black Panther. Definitely by issue number 6, as you can see from the cover, where she's in a fight with, is that Morlun or Namor? It's more. I don't remember. I need to reread these. But here she is seeking acceptance, getting denied. It's only up until here that she becomes the Black Panther, either 5 or 6. That's Shuri's Black Pantherness. Let me rewind and go back to the series, all series. Black Panther in the next volume, and the next volume, and the next volume. Oh, as I type it again, please be patient with me, people. It's T'Challa again here when Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing it in 2016, 2018. It's T'Challa again. It's T'Challa right now. Even though I don't like the comics, it is definitely T'Challa being the Black Panther. Are we going to pretend like it's a mantle? In the present of Marvel, constantly, because you guys know time moves slowly, it's always been T'Challa, except for like a little brief stint over here in a run that lasted for 12 issues. And that was it. She has such a short stint as the Black Panther. To pretend like, oh, it is a mantle is just disingenuous. What Nate Moore said, pivoting, what Nate Moore thinks is just not what I believe. Man, again, the whole room was laughing, so who knows like what position he was in. But he's not as aggressive either as one may think. He's not as like, doubling down, and I think he kind of knows, ooh, maybe this was a poor decision. I think the second guessing has come into question. This is the second time I've heard him speak on it. The first was from that Ringerverse podcast about a year ago now. And there he was like, no, definitively, no, it was a quick decision. Because, when you do a quick decision, it means you're doing something morally and you came to a decision quickly. Therefore, like, you're a great person for coming to this decision really quickly. He needed to let you guys know how quick it was. It took minutes. Now it's like, you guys are going to have to decide whether you want to see it or not. I wish I could see that whole scene, though, because it feels like there were some more questions that Nate Moore was asked. And I want to know the way he handled those also. But the way he did now was he was like a mild-mannered guy. I think he's taken his lickings from fans, maybe even from the studio themselves. Like, how could you let this? Why didn't you consider that he was the greatest black superhero in the history of comic books and how important he would be to be represented in movies for the next decade? Why, man, Nate Moore, what do we hire you for? Maybe he got one of those tongue lashings. Maybe not. Because if Kevin Feige's reason was the portrayal of Chadwick Boseman transcended any iteration of this character, and it's for that reason we will not recast. He says something like that at the Disney Plus in December of 2020. Okay. Well, that was an advancement in the T'Challa story, whether he'll return or not. It feels like from the ending of that video, I was challenged by Nate Moore. It's up to you guys, up to the fans. I'm not watching that movie. If you are watching that movie, I don't hate you or anything. I mean, it's your dollars to go have fun. But I can tell you that a recast is more likely the less money this movie makes. So if you were going to see this movie 3 times, like I saw the first Black Panther movie 3 times, maybe if I only see it once, message gets across. That's 2 movie tickets it's not going to get. If you guys are, fun-loving people who want to go to the movies on a Friday, God, do you. It is just me reminding you that the less money this movie makes, the more recast is possible. The more, oh, this movie didn't make as much as the first one. Well, what's different? Oh, we didn't have the main guy, the one who was Black Panther in the present. Because comics only have 10 years, or roughly 13 years if we're going by issue 42 of Immortal Hulk, where the Thing and the Hulk are talking about how the Thing had a bar mitzvah because he's been the Thing for 13 years. So it's really 13 years for the Fantastic Four. Black Panther was introduced in the Fantastic Four, so maybe it's also 13 years for him. But about 13 years of the Marvel sliding timeline, and in almost every single one of these years, except for like 6 comics of the Black Panther, it was Shuri. It's been a T'Challa book. I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, yeah, T'Chaka did die, so yeah, there's the mantle right there. I'm not gonna pretend like it's the same. T'Chaka's death is Uncle Ben dying. Certain story points need to be hit. Captain America needs to be frozen in ice. It's just things that need to happen first. That video was weak sauce. I reject it. I But I also notice the temperament of one Nate Moore. Maybe we're getting somewhere.